a happy mother is, of course, a happy child, right? Your conscious is answering, okay, I'll try. Maybe next time when you go home, you feel like, no, we all get stuck at certain times, right? So at these particular point in time, you can actually converse with a person just like we are doing right now. You can converse with the person and give them an easy breakthrough. You are in fear, you show your aggression to other people, later on you regret for that. Be it an angry child, be it a sad child, be it a, of course, happy child, it's not a problem, but a restless child, or maybe someone who's super active, to deal with them, one thing is you need to equip yourself with that.
Hello and welcome to Urva podcast. Parenting is a very normal word which we use in this fast-paced world. Why not look at it from a very different angle? Today we have a very special guest, Risha Sheikh. She is India's first early childhood bonding neurocoach and the founder of Heart to Heart Connections. She has been awarded for Early Childhood Neurocoaching 2025 and has been featured by Lifestyle International magazine. Today, we will discuss Risha's style to empower moms, which make them personally, professionally, and financially independent. So let's hear from Risha. Hi, Risha.
Hi.
I was just going through your profile and was just going through the word neurocoaching. So, what exactly is neurocoaching?
Okay, so as you already know, Vidya, I am an early childhood bonding neurocoach, which is actually a combination of rapid transformative neurocoaching and early childhood bonding. So when it comes to neurocoaching, what I would like to tell you is that it is a pattern that you use to give breakthroughs to people by impacting their subconscious. Though it looks like, it is kind of technical jargon, but still, when you speak to people, they might be having different problems. For example, mothers, because those are the people that I'm serving, right? So when you speak to the mothers, they might be having their own problems. For example, they are telling, Risha, I'm not able to move on from here. I feel like I'm not able to manage my kid, or maybe I'm not able to perform great in the job when it comes to the profession. So there are certain areas where these people get stuck. We all get stuck at certain times, right? So at these particular point in time, you can actually converse with a person just like we are doing right now. You can converse with the person and give them an easy breakthrough. So that is what actually rapid transformative neurocoaching is. It's not just neurocoaching, but you can call it rapid transformative neurocoaching. So this is what it actually means. And when it comes to what I do, yes, what I have just said now, where I help the mothers to get a breakthrough when they get stuck in their life. And it is especially in the areas where they are mothers, they are working in their profession, maybe professionally and financially. So these are the areas that I actually work. And when it comes to early childhood bonding neurocoach, this is something which is specifically that goes to the mother, right? So when suppose a child needs to get connected with the mother and the mother wants to connect back, you can actually get it done through RTNZ. So I'll just call it RTNZ, Rapid Transformative Neurocoaching. So this is basically I do, and I coach mothers only, not children. So yeah, that it is.
Okay. So as you said, can you just explain what exactly is RTNC? Like, is it the normal neurocoaching or is it something different?
Yes, if I need to speak about it, it is actually different from neurocoaching because you just add a little bit more elements into it. That is why it is different from normal neurocoaching. In normal neurocoaching, you use NLP. You have heard about NLP, right? That is neuro-linguistic programming. You have a different pattern of language to be used with people. In neurocoaching, you do it in a total different way where you use conversational coaching. So it's not that the person doesn't even need to be next to me if it is online also. And I'm speaking to that person, I'm conversing with that person, and I do it in a different way or a special way that could actually get into their subconscious. And in that way, they'll be able to get results faster. They'll take action easily. That is how RTNZ is different from normal neurocoaching.
Okay, so you do your coaching sessions online and offline?
Yeah, I do it both online and offline, but right now I'm more into online because there is no boundary, right? When you do the things online. So I coach mothers especially And yeah, sometimes some people come who are women but not mothers. So yeah, I do coaching online only.
So, how effective is that? I mean, doing it online.
Yeah, it is super effective because that's what I said. You don't even need to have that person to be next to you. When we do it offline, sometimes the people to create a rapport, maybe you will use a little bit of physical touch if it is I mean, gender based, I'm telling. Suppose if we both are women, right? So suppose I'm telling, okay, so Vidya, what do you do? So these kind of actions will happen in offline coaching. At the same time, online, that is not there. But for RTNs, your rapid transformative neuro coaching, you don't even need it because it is done conversationally. I build a rapport with them conversationally. I make the changes in their subconscious mind again conversationally. So when it comes to online coaching, it is super effective or as effective as it is done offline.
Okay, so how long would you take for a session?
Yeah, that's a great question actually, Vidya. When it comes to the session, we do have discovery calls where you actually need to know what the problem is, right? Just like
Can you explain more on discovery
yeah,
calls?
sure. So in the discovery call, what we actually do is you get to know the clients and you understand the problems that actually they have. Along with that, what else you will do is you will identify their beliefs, or maybe there are some limiting beliefs that would be hindering the growth of that person. So you identify it and you tell them, just like how a doctor listens when a patient comes and say that they do have the problem, the doctor listens to it first, right? And then they prescribe the medicine. So they prescribe the medicine. So what happens is, in the same way, you get to know the client and you tell them what needs to be done. Then later on, we will take it forward. And there are cases, Vidya, where sometimes these people will come, they will tell their problem, and it will be really a small one. So in discovery call itself, sometimes they will get the breakthrough. But again, it depends on the client that whether they need to continue. In most of the cases, I do take maybe 1 or 2 sessions. And with that, they'll be able to get the breakthrough that they want. Right? So that is what a discovery call works like actually.
Okay, so you're telling minimum of 2 sessions would be fine for a person to, get through?
Not actually 2 sessions, it depends. It depends on the rapport that we are creating. It depends on their, what do you call that, the depth of that problem that they have. If there is really something which is big that is underlying, then you need to pull it out and you need to do it. But don't take me wrong, we don't pull out the past traumas.
I was going to ask you the same.
Yes, because we don't do it. I said, what is the problem? We pull it out and we do it subconsciously. They will not be able to identify, but they'll get the breakthrough that they want. So every time in discovery call, after understanding the problem, we do ask them this one question. So what do you want at this point in time? What is that you want to get through, or what is that thing that you want to break through? And based on that, we, just like a doctor prescribes a medicine, we do give them certain things.
So, Risha, tell me, how is it effective for both the mother and the kid after the coaching?
Okay, so first of all, I wanted to tell you that I don't coach children. I coach only mothers. But at the same time, this happens as a byproduct. Suppose if a mother is stuck somewhere and she wants to get through it, but she's not able to do. When the coaching happens, she will be able to make that breakthrough. And she will herself feel better than before, right? So, whenever a mother feels better, it is indirectly affecting a child. Though I do have parenting coaching thing inside this, but mainly I'm focusing on the well being of the mothers. Because a happy mother is, of course, a happy child, right? So that is how it is getting transferred to the children. But yes, on a later stage, when the mother wants to improve their productivity, or maybe the mother wants to improve that connection with the child, that is a different thing that we do. But yes, this all comes under the coaching, not one on one, right? So the breakthrough thing is something that I do one on one. Other than that, whatever is there, you will be having a particular roadmap that you can follow, you can understand, and it again is customized. So they will be able to create a good rapport with the child, or maybe a great connection with the child. So I hope you're able to get me right. So this is how it's going to help both the mothers and the children together. But primarily my focus is on mothers only.
Okay.
Right?
So, what are the constraints that a mother finds? I mean, when she comes to you, what are the different kinds of constraints that she has?
There are a lot of constraints because we all are mothers, we know that. In this case, if I tell you, usually the clients who comes to me, they say this one problem the first time, that is, Risha, I don't have time. Second thing, they will add to it that, Risha, I don't have time to spend time with my kids or the family. These are the main two struggles that they are facing on a day to day basis. Now, other than this, suppose if they are really busy, so they are frustrated or maybe they are stressed out, right? Because they are managing a lot of things, multiple roles, and sometimes it is really difficult for them to cope up with everything and to juggle with the roles. So, this is the main constraint that they are facing. Now, when we speak more, or maybe we try to figure out the things, there are situations where they have their own trauma, maybe childhood or generational parenting trauma. They'll be having, sometimes they will be stuck in the space where they feel like they are not able to grow professionally and personally. Sometimes many of the clients have told me this, Risha, I know that I have the potential, but I'm reaching nowhere. So these are the common struggles that mothers face, irrespective of their what I can say is their financial status or their professional status. Irrespective of all these things, the common areas are, one is no time. Second thing is, I'm not able to do it. I'm getting stuck. And there are situations where literally these mothers are stuck somewhere in a kind of loop. They're not able to move out of it. Maybe it is the responsibilities that they do have, or becoming financially independent. So these are all multiple struggles. Whatever have come to my mind, I've actually told you that. So I think these are the things that they are facing right now.
Okay. How good are they in opening up their own problems? And do you record these sessions?
Okay, when it comes to that, first thing, I used to record it, but now I'm not recording because I feel like even they do have a concern when it comes to opening up with the people on a common platform, right? Basically, I do take sessions one on one through the Zoom live. So many of the parents have asked me also that, Risha, will you be recording it? They wanted to know it. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm not recording the sessions unless and until I feel like it is going to help the other people, other women out there, or other mothers out there, and I take their permission, because we need to reach out to more mothers, right? So they need to literally see what is a change. And this is one thing that I wanted to tell you. One of my clients, she took the session, it was not recorded. The second time she came and she wants me to record. She told me, Risha, there is a really good result. There is a really great result in my life. And I want other people also to know it so that they can also come to you. And she only asked me to record it, and I recorded. So there are cases, otherwise, we don't record it when it comes to online. And offline, there is, of course, we won't be recording it, right? By the way, did I skip any of the question you asked just before?
How good are they in opening up the?
Yes. So coming back to that question, I would tell you, they are little bit concerned about opening up, but there is a speciality over here when it comes to this conversational coaching that we are doing. I create a really good rapport with them. So in that case, even without me asking them, many of my clients just open up to me. And here, as we have already discussed, we actually don't dig out any of their past trauma that they really don't wanted to share. Instead, we ask them, what is that you need to feel that you have come out of it? So we are focusing on the solution or the result. So what is that they want at that point in time? Towards that we lead them. So that's the peculiarity of this neurocoaching or RTNZ, I would say.
Okay, is the solution long lasting or is it a quick fix?
Definitely not a quick fix. Why I'm telling you this is because there is a change which is happening in the subconscious mind. It's not that you, how can I explain that to you? Suppose right now I'm telling you, Vidya, you need to do it like this. You feel like, okay, I'll try, right? Because your conscious is answering, okay, I'll try. Maybe next time when you go home, you feel like, no, no. For instance, suppose I'm telling you, Vidya, you need to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. You say, like, okay, Risha, I'll try my best. First of all, you will not say that. You'll say, you don't understand what I'm telling. You might be having your own concerns, right? So you will have that resistance. And Let us suppose that you said okay to it. It is your conscious which is answering this. Subconsciously, no changes happen, right? When this change is happening inside you, and you yourself is feeling that you need to change something, you are not answering me. So, in that way, we reprogram their subconscious mind, right? So, that change is going to stay with them for a really long term on a particular fact or a particular problem that we have already solved. For example, a client is coming to me telling that, Risha, I don't have confidence. This is a concern. But there might be an underlying reason for it. Once we take that out, that client will never come back to us telling that, Risha, I'm not feeling confident in this area. Maybe that person can come on a later time telling that, Risha, I really wanted to become a public speaker and I want to boost my confidence. That's a different thing, right? But for the same reason, usually they never come back. So, as a coach, I would say it's a loss for me because they are not coming back to me. But mentally, I would say I'm very much satisfied because they don't come back to me for that same reason again, right? So, that's a win as a coach.
What do you think are the different stages that a mother goes through after she becomes a mom?
There are, in fact, so many stages, but in my perspective, I have put it into multiple stages where I could feel that this is what is happening. And being a mother, I also have experienced many of that. So, the first thing is, first, of course, it starts with happiness when we feel like we are going to become a mother. But there is something that you can call as a fear, and which definitely is the first stage of becoming a mother because you don't know what's going to happen and you're literally scared like, what do I need to do? Because physically and mentally, a woman's body literally changes. And she is concerned about many of the things which is going to happen in future. Though she has that happiness, but I believe immediately after that happiness, there is a fear which is getting mixed in that. And after she becomes a mother, this fear is increasing because she literally don't know how to, her mind is not prepared to receive a child as a mother. Like, what do you need to do? Whether I need to do this for my child or is it something else that I need to do? So, this kind of fear is happening, and later on, it gets converted to confusion because people around, you might be already knowing that people around us starts to give us advice like, you need to do this, it's not like this, or maybe this and that. So it creates a sense of confusion in the mother. So she feels like, whether should I do it or not, right? And afterwards, there is a different case as well, I'll tell you that. But after this confusion happens, she literally tries to figure out what is going to happen. Maybe she enters into a state of aggression where she feels like she's not getting proper sleep, she's not able to take care of the baby as everybody else is telling. She feels like it's only me who is really struggling, others are not able to understand me. So that actually triggers her aggressive mode. So she gets angry with everything. She kind of reacts for even the small things. If you notice a very, what I can say is, if you notice a person very closely who is a mother, or maybe the child is just 4 or 5 months, she do react for even smaller things. And people in home like, what is this? Right? So that stage is also there. And finally, once she literally shows her aggression to the other people, she regret for that later. So these are the multiple stages that I have recognized, which is not actually, you can't say like from this stage to this happens, then it comes. It's not like that. Sometimes it comes in multiple forms, or maybe they come together. Maybe the fear, the aggression, regret, it happens on a daily basis. You are in fear, you show your aggression to other people, later on you regret for that. And there is exceptional cases where some of the mothers do go into the depression as well immediately after the motherhood happens, because I have people coming to me with that problem as well. Even many of my friends have told me this, like, there was nobody to take care of the thing, so I went to depression, Risha, I don't know what to do then after that. So that has happened. So based on my own observance and my own experience, based on the client stories that I have handled, I clearly could see that there is a combination of all these things. Though you cannot put it into a particular time period, it keeps on a recurring basis, keeps on happening on a recurring basis. That's what I would like to tell you. So yeah, these are the multiple stages that a mother goes through.
Okay, I just got some other question. Like when you said this, how important is the partner? For the after becoming a mom, how important is the role of a partner for a mom, or the husband for a mom?
Yes, it is better to place it as husband, because though we say partner, when a mother becomes a mother, the other person is of course a husband, and he needs to give enough care and treat her really in a comforting way, I would say. Not a nice, but yeah, comforting way, so that she can feel a bit relaxed. But still, I cannot say that the level of difficulties that a mother is facing during that time is going to go really down, but still it is kind of, you feel little better, because at least someone is there to understand you. Being a woman, we all know that when someone is there to understand us, we feel like, that's nice, right? So
Okay,
yeah.
so why is it that you chose only mom? I mean, the mother only. Why is it that you chose only the mother? Because I feel it. Both of them are important.
True, true. Because co-parenting is very much relevant in nowadays world. But at the same time, Vidya, if I wanted to tell you, I am a mother. I can resonate and relate with their experiences very well. And I have taken care of my baby all alone. So I know what are the struggles that a mother faces, though I know some of the father struggles, but I'm not able to, or I will say, I haven't reached that point where I can literally see the things from the eyes of a man. So that is the main reason why I've chosen mothers. And again, mothers, if you ask me, I've chosen women, busy mothers and mompreneurs. Why? Because they are struggling more. I was also a working mom, so I could really relate with them. But still, even if the people or maybe the mothers who are sitting at home, if they come to me, I'm able to give them the solutions, because this neuro coaching system that I call as RTNZ, this is very much helpful to give breakthroughs for any people, irrespective of their age, their gender, and whatever it is. But still, I am focusing more on this area. And being a Montessori trainer, early childhood coach, I am into this area more. And that is why I'm focusing more on the mothers, especially the mompreneurs and the busy mothers.
Risha, just tell me what are the common symptoms that show that we need a coaching?
You mean a mother need a
Yeah, a
coaching,
mother
right?
need a coaching.
If I tell you the symptoms, before telling the symptoms, I wanted to tell you there are two categories of mothers who usually approach me. One is the people who are really stuck with something and they wanted to just get rid of it. That is one category of mothers. The next category of mothers is they visibly don't have any problem, but they wanted to do really well in their life. For example, improving their productivity or upgrading themselves, or maybe to perform really well in the profession, or maybe as a mother. So there are these two categories. So when it comes to symptoms, it actually applies to the first set of people who really are stuck somewhere, right? So these symptoms that I'm going to tell you is actually for these people. For example, I'll start with something which is very common in every one of us, that is overthinking. So you keep on thinking and you're not able to sleep. This is the first sign that is actually telling you that something is wrong. That's one reason. That's one symptom, okay? And second one, if I put it in words, I would say that aggression, right? As I told you, one stage is aggression and it keeps on recurring on a daily basis. You get really angry, maybe with the kids, with the other people at the home, your spouse, or maybe there are chances that you can go and show this to the people at the office as well, right? When you have the deadlines, you feel like your boss is not treating you well. You feel like it's all their blame, or maybe you feel like why I am treated like this, or there are certain things that runs through the mind of a mother at this particular stage. So this is one symptom that is actually telling you something is wrong and you need to fix it for sure, but not a quick fix. Because if people need quick fix, I can tell them that, instead of doing like this, you do like this. But the main resistance that's going to come from them is that, Risha, at that particular point in time, we won't be able to do it, right? So there we give a subconscious rewiring. So next time when it happens, they will be in a mental position where they can literally make it happen. And Vidya, one of the biggest symptoms that a mother face that actually tells her that it needs to be treated is that she would never feel happy about herself. She feel like something is not complete. I don't know what is happening. I know that I have the potential, I have the caliber, but things are not really happening. So this is actually a biggest symptom that you need to pay attention to. So these are the main symptoms that a mother face. I think I have covered almost everything, right? Yeah.
Okay, so Risha, there will be people, there will be moms who have undergone, heavy traumas. So, how will this kind of coaching help them to come out of the big trauma so that they move forward easily?
Yes, speaking about that, Vidya, there are certain processes that we do when it comes to the coaching part, especially when it comes to these kind of past traumas that are really in depth in nature. So you need to really take it out from that. But they don't need to tell us this trauma for us to facilitate for any solution. This is the biggest advantage over here. They just don't need to tell anything. But I have seen clients opening up to me when we have a really good rapport, because we don't actually ask so many questions and dig out the things. Instead, they themselves feel comfortable and they share it with us. Suppose if they haven't shared or they don't feel like sharing, still we'll be able to figure out there is some trauma relating to this area. As I've already told you, we identify the belief of that client in the first discovery call itself. So, through that, you'll be able to change the belief of it. How do we change? That is through certain processes that we take them into. So, once that is done and they are fully involved into it, they could see that entire transformation in their life. To give you an example, in my case itself, I had a childhood trauma that I feel like whenever I try to speak about it, I don't know how to represent or how to express it to another person. I rarely even speak about that to anybody. In my case, when I was getting coached, where the coach was actually coaching me, I never told her about the childhood trauma, but that is no more visible anywhere, which means I'm not affected by that and I haven't shared it with the other person also, right? I mean, I haven't shared it with the person. So, without telling, also, we will be able to take out such traumas which is really haunting them through some, I can say, powerful neurocoaching processes. So, that's how it's done.
Okay. Now, I was just thinking, like in a family, there'll be like two kids, more than a kid, and both with different characters. So, how does a session with a mom help her to handle these different kids?
Okay, in that case, first of all, I'd like to tell you, though it's the same home, these two children will not be brought up in the same manner, right? I mean, brought up in the same manner. Though we say that we treat kids equally, it never happens that way because your time change, your age change, your environment change. So the way you treat them change. So there are two different things. Or maybe two different characters for two people. Of course, they do have different individuality. Their genetics might be different, right? One will be a boy, one will be a girl, one will be introvert, one will be extrovert. So there are different things that actually make them different from each other. But at the same time, if we coach a mother for this, the mother can feel better about herself. She will feel, what I can tell you is, for example, in my own case, I used to feel very difficult to control my anger and be patient with my child. I am a Montessori trainer. I have done my Montessori training. I know the child psychology. I was keeping on learning about this. But when it comes to the real case, I was not able to manage my anger and show the patience with her. And sometimes I try to fake it also. I used to, okay? But not anymore, because faking with the children, especially with our own feelings, it's not a good idea because we are telling them you can also fake like this, which means a lie, right? So I used to do that, but later on, once I get into this RTNZ and the NLP things, I really understood there are certain things which can actually change the way you think about it. Right? So once your subconscious is changed on that matter, whenever there comes a situation, you will be more equipped to manage yourself. You will be self regulated. You are not controlling yourself. You are regulated. There is a difference, right? You know how to switch the mode when it comes to regulation. We have a fan regulator the same way. You don't control yourself. Control means something is going out of control. You're trying to bring it back. Here, you will be able to switch the mode and regulate yourself in such a way that you can have a peaceful environment inside the family. So, with two different kinds of kids, two different habits, two different behaviors, that is not a problem because you're not trying to change them. And let me tell you that also, with neuro coaching, you cannot change the other person, but you can change from within for yourself. And once you change, trust me on this, your environment changes. If you take even a slighter example, like you are in a coffee shop, your friend is telling something, you get angry, you shout at that person and you move out. That's the environment because you shouted at her, right? At the same time, suppose if you are not shouting, won't the environments change, right? So the same way that environment will change when you change yourself. And that is what we are helping over here. The mothers will be more equipped to regulate themselves so that they can create a peaceful environment inside their home without getting stressed. You don't need to think like, okay, now I need to control my anger and I need to do like this. No, it happens of its own because it's done subconsciously.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so I linking to this question, like I have seen kids, or in my house also, I do have a kid. Like they get very angry at times. So you mean to say that it's the parent who has to change, or how do we handle this, and how does neurocoaching help in handling a angry child?
Angry child, right? Okay, that is in fact a difficult question, but I'll try to give my best when I answer this. When it comes to, right now, you said you have a child at your home. Again, one policy or the philosophy, you call it anything, that we have to carry in our mind is that every person is different. Every child is different. Every mother is different. If I'm telling you, Vidya, next time you do like this, when your child gets angry, you come back to me and you will say that, Risha, it doesn't work with my child because your child is different. You are different from me, right? So we all are individual persons with different characters. So we don't actually give a particular tip that anybody can give. Maybe the elders in our homes used to give us, right? You can do like this when your child is angry. You need to take care of her like this, otherwise she will be spoiled. So there are n number of tips that is available to us everywhere. And now even we do have the chat GPT. If we ask it, it himself with, I don't know, himself, whether you can call like that. But yeah, it will give you some of the other answer or the tips. But it doesn't work in a real life scenario. For the real life scenario, there is only one solution, be it an angry child, be it a sad child, be it a, of course, happy child, it's not a problem, but a restless child, or maybe someone who's super active. To deal with them, one thing is you need to equip yourself with that, right? In a way that you can manage it, because you don't know every time how the angry or how the person is getting angry. So you need to treat it according to that. That is what we are doing. We are equipping you to make it happen, right? So that is one thing that we do. And when it comes to managing, maybe for example, I need to go into detail, but I'm not telling about that. Suppose your child is angry, or maybe I'm taking my own case. My child is angry and throwing something on the floor. Mostly or most probably, the child might have taken that habit from me, right? So modeling is the best way to show your child how you can manage your anger. So if you yourself model in such a way that even when you're angry, some or the other thing will happen, right? Maybe you will keep silent, you will go out from that place, or maybe you will speak to the other person. If you're really great at that interpersonal skills, you'll say that I'm really getting angry, I need to move out of that now, which is actually not doing any big damage. But at the same time, if you throw something, or if you shut the door, or if you shout or scream, probably the child will pick up on that because they don't have any filters. They just take it as it is. And that's why I wanted to tell you this. We haven't spoken about it. I am into early childhood because this is the space where you can actually make a change in the child, or maybe a change in yourself. When you do that, your child just copy it as it is. And if I given an option to you, the Vidya, if I'm asking, is it easy for you to regulate another person or to regulate oneself? Which one will you prefer?
Sure, it'll be for myself.
Right? Because it is comparatively easy to do it. But people feel that it is difficult to do. Rather than that, I will scream at my child on a daily basis. So sorry to say that if they have opted for that, let's face it, that's the only thing that we can do. But if you change yourself, which is actually very easy when it comes to neuro coaching, that's the simplest one, right? So you get regulated yourself and your child just copy you. You don't have any other thing. You just need to work on yourself, right? So that's the thing.
Okay, Risha, like in this new age, there are films which are releasing with violent contents, and definitely I do know that the children whom we take to the theaters, they also do get affected. So how does neuro coaching help in regulating the behavior, or maybe how can we handle that?
Yes, regulating behavior is not a good option there, but I tell you, when it comes to watching the movies, one thing is we can cut short the exposure to such violent movies, right? That is a good option. But there are parents who say that my kids just love watching that and we don't have any problem at all, right? But it is not, I won't say that it is true or false, but at the same time, I would like to give a better thought to them, right? So, a child is actually watching violent content and they get something out of it. Necessarily, they won't be violent at you, but they may lack empathy sometimes, or they may show less understanding for the other people, which we again call as empathy only. Maybe they'll become stubborn. Maybe they don't have any particular change outside, but inside they are a different person. Many of the people couldn't even recognize that they are a different person from actually what they are doing or they are behaving outside. So these kind of changes may happen in the child, but parents unfortunately are unaware of it. So they feel like we can just have this exposure to the child and it's quite okay. That can happen. Again, regulating, as I already told you, we won't be able to regulate it. Either you can cut short the exposure and give more exposure to the nature so that they can be the best as a child. They have a better exposure of their during their childhood and they can grow into a better citizen. That's one thing that we can do. But again, it's a parent's choice. Every mother knows what's good for their child, right? So once they feel like the child is getting affected with the violence movies, maybe tomorrow my child can do this because of this. Not surely the child is going to take the knife and come and do this, but still there are multiple versions of it, right? And many times I wanted to say one more thing over here. Many times if we very closely watch the news that is coming in day to day's life, we could very clearly see that the children during the exposure, during the childhood exposure, what is that they are getting, that is what they are giving back. So we'll say, some parents will say that we haven't exposed to any violent content, but how you are behaving with other people, what is that you are doing? Or maybe how you are treating your child itself. Were you a really strict parent who always used the carrot and stick method to make the child understand the things? Or maybe you were a parent who used to criticize your child, compare your child in front of others, or maybe label that child as naughty. You call it like, this child never listens to even a single word I say. Or maybe you might have insulted them in front of other people. It actually depends on the way we treat our children. Are we actually adding violence in our behavior? That is what actually matters. Otherwise, whether you watch violence movies, that's the only thing. No, we cannot say like that. But yeah, it also plays a great role. But when it comes to coaching, again, it is not going to directly affect anything. But as a person, when you get coached, you become more wise. So when you are more wise, of course, you will understand that violence movies are not good for the children, right? So you take an action. So that is a thing. Otherwise, I don't think we need to have a regulation on the children.
Risha, see, you said that you are coaching moms. So, where should a mother set the boundary between freedom and discipline?
That's a very tricky question because When it comes to drawing a boundary, first of all, of course, there need to be boundaries, and the children needs to be disciplined. I have only one difference in the opinion, Vidya. You can discipline your child, but why compulsorily should it be in the Hitler mode of disciplining? Because when we think of disciplining somebody, we do have that school picture where we sit like this, maybe sit like this, or if you do something, you get punishment, or the Hitler rule that prevailed. I don't remember the year and all, but yeah. So we have an idea that if you need to discipline a child, you need to be really maybe pushy, a little bit strict. We don't even think about the bold tone. We think about screaming or shouting at the people, right? So it doesn't need to be like that. Even if that is not there, you can discipline people. People have a misconception about this, that you need to shout at the child to make him disciplined. But actually, you are giving him a wrong information. If you need to have a control over someone, you need to shout at them, right? So that is a wrong information where that we can actually change in the children's mind during their childhood itself, right? So you can discipline a child. You need to tell them in a better way. Of course, you will find out your own ideas, especially when you get this neuro coaching done. You yourself will identify how you can do that. This how is what I'm doing, right? When it comes to disciplining, you need to have love for your child, express that love towards them, and give them more exposure to the nature. This is something that I wanted to tell you, but I forgot in between. So, yes, that is something that you need to give them. And what is not good for them, they will choose once they become an adult. But now they look up to you. So, how you are doing it, that is what is going to become the basis for their, what I can say, criteria or something like that. So, based on how you are doing, they are also going to do this. But there are exceptional cases. In the violence movie thing, also you asked, there are exceptional cases where people or any kids who are literally watching the violent movies uh, turned out to be really wonderful human beings. That can happen. Same way here also, there are exceptional cases. Even if you give everything in right amount, sometimes luck is really bad and they turn out to be really opposite. Or maybe you're not giving nothing, you just give the freedom that is required and you let them grow and they really turn out to be wonderful human beings. But all these has a connection to the early childhood is something which is very common, right? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Risha, is there any specific age for a mother to come and get coached?
You're telling whether there is an age limit for the mothers
Yeah,
who are
age
coming to
limit.
me. No, there are no age limits. I'll tell you certain conditions that a mother should have. One is they should have the love for their children. Of course, every mother has that, right? That's one thing. Second thing is if they are ready to take up the sessions as we are giving them, once they understand the importance, of course we are going to tell them everything. There is a transparency. It's not like that we say something and we do something else. And they should be ready to take up the sessions if they are a person who is really committed to make the promises happen. Suppose if they have promised that they'll do this actionables, because we give some actionables to the clients. It's not a one way, what do you call that? It's not like a one way teaching where we are telling them something and they go and do it. It's not like that. We do discuss and we come up with the solutions together. That is how neuro coaching happens. Though we do some process in between whenever we feel like it's really important for the client to have a breakthrough, that we do it. And they need to have the trust on me as well. So if all these things are there and they are ready to commit, then that's it. So far I would say I've got mothers in between the age group of 22 to 55.
Okay.
Not more than that. But if a person who's coming to me after 55 also, most welcome. Again, age is just a number, right?
Okay.
That's
Okay, Risha, you were using a term subconscious reprogramming or programming. Can you
Exactly.
just explain that?
okay. I would put it in simple words. If you think about subconscious reprogramming, don't consider it as a really big thing, but the results that you're going to get is really great. At the same time, for example, a subconscious influence, we can connect it with the childhood. Say, for example, you had an experience in your childhood you get onto the stage, you sang really well, and people clapped, what would you probably feel?
Definitely will be very confident.
Very confident, right? Just imagine the other way. You get onto the stage, you sang really well, but nobody clapped, nobody was caring about it. And suppose some of them literally actually did this whistling and hooting, or maybe something like that. What will you feel then? Instead of clapping, they have no expression of joy.
Next time I won't be on the stage.
That actually affected your subconscious, maybe the positive empowering way or the disempowering way. It actually has built a belief in your mind. So we will take the second one as an example to continue with. You won't be doing that next time. That is a subconscious belief, which means you will go to the stage and sing, people are not going to clap. This is the belief. Suppose if it gets changed, again you are feeling that people are going to clap. Will you at least give it one shot, going to the stage and singing once again?
Yeah.
Right? And how you do it? For that, you need to trust on me. I'll make it happen. That is what we do. I won't say that I'll make everything happen, but we'll do it together. That is the best term over there. Because when we do it together, when we converse, when we discuss the things and we come up with a solution and you do the actionables, this is a very important thing that plays a vital role in coaching. I haven't mentioned about that. Certain actionables will be there for the client to do. And once they do it, they will get amazing results. Because I've got that happening for my clients. Why I'm not speaking a lot about it? Because many of the people, when they come once only, they get the breakthroughs. It might be small, small things that they are getting stuck with. So once they get the breakthrough, then they don't need to come back again and again to me, right? But again, there are 2 or 3 clients that I take on a regular basis, but that also will go till only 4 or 5 sessions, not more than that. And I do take these sessions very limited because that's my premium session. I usually do the other thing, which is a training plus coaching, or facilitating plus coaching, or sometimes mentoring plus coaching to a group of people, not less than 5. That is what I usually do. I don't take up one on one coaching so much. So, but yes, this is a subconscious change that is going to happen if you are able to think the other way. Of course, you will be able to give it a try, or you will do something which is out of the comfort zone, right? How you are going to do this, that is what coaching is all about.
Okay, and how good is it? How good does the emotional quotient of the kid, or as well as a mother, develop after the coaching?
Of course, we have no direct control over the EQ of the kid. But the mother, she would become, what I can say, I'm not able to find out a particular word to explain about that. Mother will be able to become mentally strong, is something I would like to say, rather than speaking a lot about the emotional quotient. That even if I speak a lot about that, people won't be able to understand what that really is. But if I say mentally you will become strong, that is actually a yardstick for them to understand. Yes, next time when I face a problem where someone is screaming at me, I will be strong enough to speak what is really needed. It's not that I'll be able to scream back, that's not the way it works. But yeah, you will have that. Or suppose many of the clients, recently only one of the client came and she told me that she's very much sensitive. She feels like crying. When someone else says, then also she cries. So in that case, we are working on that. So in that case, suppose you are able to see the result, someone else is crying, you're not able to cry. You are not crying as before, then you will understand that you're mentally strong, right? So I would like to put it that way. Whatever concerns are literally bothering you, we will figure, but one at a time. This is something very important. You cannot do everything together. If you think, for example, we are speaking, I cannot be the person and ask the question, I cannot be the person and take the shoot the video. This is not going to happen together. So the same way, when a client comes to us, we tell them that one at a time we do, because that is how the neuro coaching works actually. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Risha, like in the artificial intelligence, now it is the time for artificial intelligence. So, how can neuro coaching help the mother or the parents to tell the child that what is good and what is bad? I mean, it's not the good and bad, like how to choose good friends, or how to not get addicted to, whatever substances or the mobile or whatever it is. So how can neuro coaching help in that?
That I would say it's not actually directly connected to the child. When we do the coaching again, we help the mothers, right? So once they are mentally strong enough and wiser enough to take care of the child, they would find out ways that is going to work for their child. It's not same for everybody. And of course, we need to have a close observance of the child during this period. Rather than observing, if I say observing, people will get into the supervisory mode. And when you are a person who is really supervisory and not a friendly parent, kids are not going to open up to you. And yes, that's a catch. If your kid come to you and tell you that this is happening, mama, somebody is asking me to use this, can I use it? Just imagine, if that is a scenario, will you be not able to take a decision and influence them?
Definitely.
Right? For that, we need a good connection. To build that connection, you need to do it in the very early stage. So I would like to say to the mothers out here, if they are listening to me, if you want your child during their adulthood, maybe starting from 13, the teenage is really a dangerous period, right? 13 to 18, and after that, imagine they are coming to you and they are speaking to you just like a friend. They are treating you and they are speaking to you. Will you be not happy?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Every parent wants that, right? They want to come to me. They should come to me. They should speak to me. There are many things that we have. And just imagine the other way around. They are doing their own business. They are not bothered about you and they don't want you to be bothered about them. Will it not really affect you badly? Especially during that time when they are into their teenage or adulthood, will be little, old.
Yeah.
Right? We might have become little old. So you feel like, why? If you don't want that to happen and if you want to become a friendly parent, you need to sow the seeds right now. That is during the early childhood. And this is really a wonderful opportunity for the parents or the mothers who have children between this age, because still you have the time. And later on, also, you have the time. But what happens is the time you take for damaging the things, it's actually almost equal or more than the time you need to correct it back. So why not begin it the right time?
Nowadays, kids are directly born into the technology world. They also get in touch with screens. So, how can a parent control using using the method that you're providing them?
So you mean to say that how can a parent directly control a child to reduce the usage of this? Actually, I would say, Vidya, there are no direct method of controlling a child. Possibly, I can tell you some techniques like, okay, you need to have a screen time. When it comes to screen time, we usually have a pattern like kids till the age of this need to have screen time for maybe half an hour, then 1 hour, 2 hour, more than 2 hour. To be very honest, more than 2 hours is not recommended for a child. At the same time, nowadays it's not just about the screen time. They do have use help, or I can say, let me put it this way. They do have the habit of chatting with the chatbots. We have chat gpt. Even in my case, my daughter, sometimes when I'm doing some work, she comes and she speaks to the chatbot. She says like, chat gpt, I like you, you are my friend. So that is the connection that they do have. Plus they do have the screen time also. They are into the, what do you call, there are multiple terms, I'm not able to recollect any of it. But yeah, they are into that world, that video game. Multiple dimensions are coming now, so they are getting more and more interacted or interested in that. And as of such, parents, we don't have a direct control over them. Direct control measures are something like, maybe to set a screen time, to turn off the TV after a while, or to don't give them anything, or maybe we can set up a family profile like we have in Google, where parents have the access to everything. So I would like to connect this question to what we have already answered. When we directly try to have a control over them, it's kind of supervising. So we get into the supervisory mode, right? In fact, I haven't answered that particular question also completely. So yeah, when you get into the supervisory mode, they get into the hiding mode. They are not going to tell you everything. And unfortunately, many of us parents, we don't have that much knowledge that much our kids have, right? So it's difficult to control them like that. But there is an alternative way, which is much more simpler for you, where they are going to come directly and tell you this, or maybe you have a really great connection between you so that you can speak to them, you can have an influence over them rather than controlling them. Controlling is actually a disempowering way of treating your kids. It's never going to happen in the right manner or maybe in an empowering manner, because if we just see our own childhood, we had that controlling method by our parents imposed on us. It was working then, but it was not effective. Now it's not effective also, and it's not working also. They just go out of control. So I won't use the term controlling. Rather than that, take the time to build connection with them. And I'd like to connect one more concept with this, how you can build connection. Maybe you have this question in your mind, by spending quality time. And many parents do have this, especially mothers who are working. They have this concern, we don't have time. We have a lot of things to do. Then how do we connect with them, especially when it comes to quality time? So for both of this, one answer, you can create quality time with your kid so that they will feel more connected to you. And how is actually by, I'd like to tell about it by breaking the myth. People have an idea in their mind that if they spend long number of hours, that is quality time. If they spend 5 minutes, it's not quality time. So they connect the term time in the quality time with their schedule. So it's not about you spending long number of hours along with your kid, screaming at them, shouting at them, trying to supervise them, control them, advising them, comparing them, criticizing them, ask me what not. We do all these things by spending time with them, and we try to term it as quality time for our satisfaction, because we have spent this one day at least for them, right? So it's not like that. You spend quality time wisely with them. They will get connected to you. And how you need to spend that, even if you get 5 to 10 minutes a day, that is more than enough. Instead of all the things that I've told you just now, listen to them. Understand what do they want. Just like I listen to my clients, okay? What do you want? We ask this one question. When they say every problems, we ask them, okay, so what do you want at this point in time? The same way, listen to the kids and then ask them, okay, so what do you love mama to do for you? Or what is that you want to listen from me? Then they will open up their mind. And once they open up their mind and they share things with you, you will also be like their friend. Of course, you cannot be a friend for them, but a friendly parent, because you need to say no at particular times. Say that boldly, but with love, right? So in that way, if you spend some time with them, at least 5 to 10 minutes a day, that is going to be the quality time for them. Again, the foundation for your connection. When there is a good connection, they are going to come to you for anything and everything. Trust me on that. They will come and they'll ask you. And moreover that, if you have a great connection with them, you will be in a position to influence them, not to control them. So once that influencing works, of course, you can add the NLP in this, where we do it for the parents. You can add the element of NLP where you speak with the children in such a way that they say yes to it. But you need to make sure that it is empowering for the child. It's not because you want them to do it. For example, a child wants to become an artist. You want your child to become a doctor. And you are using NLP in an unethical manner or an unethical manner. That's not recommended. And we don't provide that also to our clients, because sometimes when you get such things, you somehow end up using it in a wrong way. So that we don't give, but we do use NLP inside the coaching, and we equip parents to do that in such a way that they can use it to have a connection with the child in the most empowering way. And when there is connection, whatever AI is going to replace, right? So when AI comes, of course, we know that it's replacing the humans, and you are giving something which is completely termed as humane, which is a connection that AI cannot give. Once you erase the data, it's like new, and it's asking, who are you? But here it doesn't happen, because you have literally taken at least 5 to 10 minutes a day to build that connection with your child, maybe the daughter or the son. And on that, you build the things. They will come back to you. That's how it works.
Okay. So, Risha, how does neurocoaching help a parent to build habits or build good habits, if you term it that way, in kids, or new habits in kids?
Okay, new habit in kids, I would say new habit in parents, because especially mothers. In neurocoaching, we do create new habits for the mothers through different methods. For example, swish pattern is a really popular one in that. This is a new habit generator for the mothers. But for the kids, I would say we don't have direct access to the kids. And we don't coach the kids on behalf of the parents. That's not what I do, okay? I said we in the sense, the coaches. So we don't parent the kids for the parents, but we do help them to do it if they want to. And there, especially during the early childhood, this method that I told you is for the parents, for the mothers, right? They might be really old enough to take that. But for the kids, the work is really easy and a little bit difficult at the same time, because you need to work on you. You generate the habits and they do it. That's how it works. For a small example, I would just wanted to tell this personal example over here. My daughter has a habit of opening the lid of the toothpaste, taking it, brushing, and she'll keep it there. She'll not put it back. Okay. She had this problem. And somewhere I identified none of us do that. Both my spouse and I, we don't do that. Somewhere she has picked this habit. So I wanted to correct it. So what I did is, instead of telling her, whenever I take the toothpaste, because we both go together, now there is a condition. We both go together and I take the toothpaste. I say, Mama opens the lid, take the paste, put back the lid and keep it there. Now I brush. So I do this. I did this twice, thrice, the fourth time, fifth time. The sixth time, she started to do it. It was not done in a perfect way. Then I understood, because she was not able to handle the small lid, to put it in the proper way, she was keeping it over there. But now she started doing it. It was not, of course, in a perfect way. It was like this, ulta pulta. But I corrected it. I didn't tell her. I did it. So two things happened. One, that habit was changed. She started to put the lid back. Second thing, I observed it was not because she was careless, she was putting it. She was not able to do it. So when you observe the child, these kind of revelations will happen to us as mothers, especially mothers, because we are spending more time with the kids, right? Even in smaller quantities, yeah. So that's it.
Okay, and in case, how can the mother help if the child is too restless? I think you have already given some tips before. So if you can.
Okay, first of all, when it comes to restless, many of the, not even mothers, everybody have this habit of labeling the kids, right? They do have the habit of labeling the kids. So first thing that we need to take care is, we don't need to label the kids. Possibly we can put it in a different way. Instead of telling that they are naughty, or maybe this is a really saddest trend that is there in popular among mothers, okay? They call them, what can you call? Hyperactive kids. When it comes to hyperactive kids, there are certain other conditions also that you need to see without consulting anybody, or if someone just says that this person is hyperactive, that's it. The child is labeled like that. So that labeling is something that we need to be really careful. And if I say there is an option, please do put it in some other way instead of labeling, right? As hyperactive or naughty, these are the things. Now, another thing that I need to tell over here is, when it comes to restless kids, it's mostly because they do have unused energy. That is why they are using it some other way. So diverting them to use their energy, maybe to help them to do some works, household chores, keep them engaged with some other things, and have a break in between where they can sit and feel bored. That has to happen, because otherwise if you keep them engaged all the time also, it's going to backfire. So make sure that you give them sufficient works which are really productive, so that they can use the energy. And once, most of the children I have seen, because I do sometimes workshop with the children, when they work in a really productive way, they get satisfied and they go back and do something else, or maybe they'll take some rest, or maybe they'll sit and do something. So they do it. It is not that they are what we call as hyperactive or restless, they have so much of unused energy inside them. That is why this problem is happening. And another thing, for restless kids, it's not just for them, for other kids also, the sense of order. That is an important thing. When there is no sense of order in the environment, for example, I'm keeping this here now, then I'm keeping it somewhere else, then I put it somewhere else, so there is no order. It can actually affect their inner order as well. So, if we could take an extra step to take care of that, that also will help the kids to function in a better way.
Okay, Risha, tell me what is the right age for a parent to speak about the menstrual cycles to their kids?
Okay, I would say, irrespective of the gender, you can start telling them or hinting them about this from the age of 5. But the intensity and the pattern changes. You cannot directly tell a 5-year-old child about this is this. But instead, if you can start hinting, then give a little bit intro, then add some more details into it, like step by step, because it's not a one-time process, right? And why I focused on irrespective of gender, it needs to be given both to the girl kids and boy kids. Both needs to understand about it. For the girls, of course, it's going to help them in the future, and the same time, for the boys, they will have an empathy towards the other gender. They will know that this is not a weakness. You need to understand that. It will help them to behave in a better way when they see anybody who is in that particular situation. So it actually prepares children to deal with this what you have called just now, or puberty, I would say. With that particular stage, right, they will be able to manage themselves in a better way. So we need to give them this idea, I would say, as early as age of 5, because I have already started giving this hint to my daughter, because she needs to know, right? And it is very important in today's world to let them understand about it. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for both the kids, again, irrespective of the gender, girls and boys.
Okay, just adding on to that, there are certain, I've seen that there are a number of books coming out on this for, to teach them what is going to happen and all. So is it, do you recommend such kind of books?
In case of books, I'm pretty much not sure about it, because what I do is based on the experiences I tell her. I tell her the things. Maybe there are really good books out there, and if some of the mothers or the parents are finding it difficult to speak about this to the child, then of course they can depend on the books if it is really good. But unless I know what is inside that, I cannot say that you can go for this or not. But yeah, sometimes I feel like what is so difficult in explaining, especially for a mother to the child, because that role is usually taken by the mothers, right? Again, that shows a lack of not telling about this to the sons when they were really small. So yeah, when for mothers to speak about it, maybe to the boy or a girl, it's not a big thing, because after all, you're a mother and you know what's good for your child. So it's pretty much a simple job.
Okay, and how can neurocoaching help the mother to find the different skills in their kids?
Okay, that's something different, which is connected to observation, I would say. I already told you that I'm into Montessori training as well. So we do have a particular philosophy that we follow. Observe the child and you will be led to revelations, which means when you watch your child on a continuous basis, so then again people will think like, okay, now I need to sit 24/7 and watch the child. No, not like that. When you are there, be mindful, be present in that environment and observe your child. In seconds, sometimes you will get such fire or the spark about their skills. Of course, over a period of time also, when you go out, I have seen one instance I'd like to say. I've seen many parents pushing their children to go to the stage and sing or perform something. And when the kids are not going, they feel like, okay, you go kind of thing. In fact, I have done that in my reels also. It struck my mind and I just did it. We have that habit, but we never do that. When someone else asks us to come and sing, we feel like, no, 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 not me. Not this time, next time. Okay, next time I'll prepare and I'll come. So we have the habit, right? You are smiling and I could sense something out of that. So yeah, we do that and we push them, right? So we were speaking about the skills. So when you actually observe your child, you will see that you are some kind of modeling them or conditioning them in that way. So that can also affect them. At the same time, during the time that you have to spend with your child, if you're really observant and a little bit present, you'll be able to see what actually they are into. The same example I said, my child was not doing it because she didn't know that. I never knew it until I observed it. So that is how it is.
So Risha, you were telling about Montessori training. Nowadays, it's very often seen that parents speak about homeschooling. Do you do homeschooling for your kid, and what is the difference between doing homeschooling and the normal education system?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to answer this question. Yes, I am into Montessori training, so I am homeschooling my own child. She's 5-year-old, by the way. So I do have the Montessori materials with me, and with that I do. And I make DIY Montessori materials as well. So when it comes to speaking the difference between homeschooling and real schooling, see, everything has got the pros and cons, right? For example, if we speak about the schooling method, they have social exposure, but they are getting bullied. They know how to tackle with the problems, but at the same time, they sometimes are not able to express or get exposure to the skills. So there are exception cases also. In my case, when it comes to homeschooling, what I believe that's really good about it is she gets that natural exposure. Suppose if I'm going somewhere, or maybe I'm attending an event, or maybe I go out for a trip, or what else? What else is happening in a normal person's life? The child also gets that real life exposure. That is a great blessing for the homeschooling. And for me, I am a working parent. You can say I'm an entrepreneur. I am working. I'm collaborating. See, right now I'm here. So right now she is there. She is going to daycare. I mean, today she has gone to daycare. So sometimes she goes. She will be there with the friends. She plays. She come back. But she never wants to go to school. I asked her because it's not that I am imposing something on her. She said like, "Mama, I wants to play." And I can challenge any parent during the age of 2 to 6 or maybe 7. If you ask a child, most of the kids will say, "Mama, I wants to play." I mean, I want to play, right? Or I want to be with friends. And you know what is the greatest reason why they go to school? It's for their friends only, right? They want to play with them. They want to have chit chat. They want to have food together. So they like that sharing and caring quality. But if you can build that in the homeschooling itself, then why to make them a part of a rigid system that is actually kind of retuning the human being, I would say. What they are, they tune into something else. Maybe again, there are exceptions in all these cases, but what I have seen with myself, with many of my friends, with the kids now, they are going to school. They used to speak a lot before they go to school. Suddenly they stopped because at school they can't speak during the classes. They need to sit mum, right? So that is there. So I personally, I'm not telling that going to school is not a great thing, but I prefer homeschooling my own child. And I can see there are a lot of changes, a lot of qualities that she is imbibing by coming with me, being with the people out there of different age groups, different gender, different atmosphere. So she is getting adapted to every single thing. Okay, so that is what I wanted to say. I would say that she is in the process of becoming a adult rather than she is in the process of becoming a doctor or an engineer. So that is a major difference between both of that. And that is the main reason why I choose homeschooling over the normal schooling method.
Okay. Are you doing any kind of courses which we can get access to regarding your coaching or?
Okay, it's not about the homeschooling, right?
No.
The coaching you're telling. Okay, so when it comes to coaching, We do have you already. We already have shared about this also. We had a discussion. So I do have many courses running right now for the parents. For example, I would say how you can be a connected mother, or how you can be stress free, because these are all the terms connected with motherhood, right? How you can connect with your child rather than managing your child, how you can rewire your brain in such a way that you can be the best mama to your child, because every mama knows that they wants to be the best and they are in the process of becoming that. So we do have so many courses, and here with Urva we do have special exclusive courses for them, where they can literally rewire themselves and balance their motherhood. When I say balance the motherhood, they will be able to take charge of each and everything that they're doing right now. If someone comes to me and I ask them, you can't be doing this, you have to do focus only on this, that never happens. So to create a balance in a mother's life, what all things they need to do, how they can rewire it, that is something that we are exclusively working for Urva. And yeah, there are several other discussions also that is happening with regard to the pressure, how you can reduce the pressure, how you can manage your time wisely, how you can become stress free, and how you can improve your productivity when it comes to profession if you are a mompreneur. So yeah, there are so many discussions happening, but right now we are mainly focusing on the balancing of motherhood, because this is something that needs to be addressed urgently. How you can balance yourself in this entire what do you call? I'm not getting any right word, but yeah, that floating ship with so many things happening. You call it Noah's ship. Ark.
Noah's Ark.
Ark, right? Yes, Noah's Ark. So like that, you need to balance everything and still sail, right? So that's what we are focusing on right now.
Okay, and any suggestions for the parents to read certain books with their kids? Any books suggestions for books?
Personally telling, I would say I have no such suggestions for the books, but there are certain criteria that I check every time I buy the books, especially for the children till the age of 5, because I am into early childhood, right? So till the age of 5, you can choose any books that is actually going to help them in building a habit that doesn't have a great moral in the story, because that moral is not going to help the child understand what it is. If there is, and you can actually do it for yourself. If there is a moral, you don't speak that moral to them. We have no moral of the story is be a good child or wake up early. Just avoid that moral and tell the story to the child. That you can do. And another thing is the stories or the books that is related to the day-to-day routine or day-to-day things that are happening. Maybe one person is going to a shop and buying things and coming back. A child is going to school and she sees these are all stories I have created, okay? I'm just telling you. So she's saving a cat. So there are multiple stories out there available in the market as well. So you can choose it wisely. But one thing I wanted to tell you is keep in your mind that till the age of 5, children will not be in a position to understand the fairy tales. They won't understand that this is fairy tale and this is reality. So always stick on to something which is real to read out to your child. And you can even create stories of your own. You can speak about your own experiences. That is actually a great collection of, I'm sure that many of the parents will have a lot of their own experiences and stories. But you need to edit in such a way that the children can understand it by avoiding the complex terms. So be realistic when you choose the storybooks. After the age of 5, of course, you can go ahead with the fairy tale stories, but you need to give them an intro. This is not reality. This is just a fairy tale. So you can give them an intro, and later on, their mind will pick it up, because by the age of 4 to 5, their logical mind will start awakening. So they can understand the difference between reality and what is not real, but not virtuality. Okay, that is again different, that we need to focus on separately. So yeah, this is what I'd like to tell. And yeah, adding one more thing is storytelling is actually a great way of sharing a good connection with your child. When we spoke about the quality time, I missed out on this. You can add the fact of storytelling into it. You can make it a quality time. You can speak to them. So what do you think this girl should do? She actually saved the cat, no? For example, I'm telling. So they will speak up their mind. You can give your viewpoints. And that giving and taking is happening. Again, sharing is caring, so they will get it easily.
I think we have covered almost all the questions now. So, how was your experience on the podcast?
It was fantabulous, I would say, to just put it in one word. Otherwise, I'll keep on speaking about it. Because, spaces like these are really important and necessary in today's world, so that even I personally am able to reach out to a lot of people out there, right? So they will understand what are the, if I just put it in a nutshell, for example, it starts with becoming a mother. What are the problems that they are facing? What are the stages which are happening? And what you can do. And many of the people ask this question that how does the subconscious work? What do you actually do? Why you are doing this neuro coaching? How is it different? So we could put them one by one and give them the idea that neuro coaching, or what I'm particularly doing is rapid transmissive neuro coaching, is literally going to help them to get through the problems that they have right now, or I would say to make a breakthrough in their life so that they can excel in their life. I would say my mission, I haven't spoken about that. My mission is actually to create minimum 1 million mothers out there who are busy mothers to professionally or parentally or personally and even financially excel in their life, so that they can be the role models for their children, not someone else. They can point out to themselves and they can show the children that, you see, mama is doing this, you can do that too. Instead of telling someone else, you look at that person and learn, they can showcase themselves as better mothers. And it's not that we are faking it, we do it because the changes happen to your subconscious mind. And when subconscious leads, trust me, Vidya, the entire experience changes and you literally transform into a totally different human being. So that's all about it.
Okay, so it was really a very nice time with you, Risha, and I did enjoy and I got a lot of information too. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the very success for wherever you want to reach. And thank you for everything that you've
Thank
shared
you.
today.
Thank you, Vidya. The feeling is mutual. Thank you.